Not something I do with the adult in me. It's something I realized a long time ago that I have to play guitar with the same part of me that played with my blocks when I was a little kid, or that played with little dolls when I was a little kid.
He would like, let me see those words, and he would take the words and he would read them, and he's like, okay. And then he would start to play something, and I would start to sing it, and I would say, can you play something, that feels like this? And he'd say, okay, let me try this. And then we have a song.
I respond to energy, and if the music's emanating a good energy, that's what I'm listening for, and that's what I'm going to gravitate towards, So even if a band's really good, that's not enough, for me.
And I think it was kind of striking that whatever stories are in the music, there's always such a lot of joy and stuff like that in the music.
Much was made of the SNL performance, and you guys were always physical, but there's that moment at the end of the first song where it looks to me like you're definitely literally kicking about the arse. And I sort of wonder whether or not, and you wrote a bit about that in the book, whether it was just, that was kind of, I guess, step one in understanding how to process that and how to deal with other human beings in their environment.
We talked about it earlier, I wanted things the way I wanted it, and he wanted it the way he wanted it.
Guitar player John Frusciante, due to mental stresses and imbalances and difficulty of dealing with everything, quit the band and left.
And John went down as far as he could.
So, do you mind if I play one from then?
Fine.
And this guy who I thought was a real jerk, I sat in the outfield and made up a song about how I thought he should die. So I with those snakes and flakes, I went home and I filled up a tape with 45 minutes worth of songs. And ever since I've been writing songs, lately I've been writing a lot. Just do writing of all kinds, music, scripts, ideas, stuff off the top of my head, like mathematics.
Talking a little bit about the point when you left the Chili Peppers?
No.
Why did you leave the band?
A bad acid trip, like taking acid in the wrong environment and feeling at the time like I was never going to be the same.
Just the whisper of a ghost saying, hey, I'm not gone yet. And we're like, okay, let's do this. Californication, by the way, Stadium Arcadian.
Like making sure you're just stretching time out and making time go faster, making time go slower, just playing games with it all the time and just trying to like twist everything around and just try to bend the fabric of reality, because it's a lot, it's a lot easier to do with a guitar for me than it is with talking to somebody or.
And he did make a holistic decision. He's like, it's not for me. It's too much attention, too much travel, too much chaos, too much
energy, all of it.
All of it.
Thinking before John left that that could happen, that he would leave, or just because things were feeling kind of dysfunctional, the communication and
So you saw it coming.
The ease of togetherness. I don't know if I saw it coming, but I felt something coming. I didn't know what it was. It just, things were not flowing in an easy, together, unified way. Even though I thought that our art was at a very high level,
So you have a new solo album coming out in January called The Empyrean, which is quite an experience. I've been listening to it all week.
In the case of the record, I think I was more using the highest point in heaven as a symbol for the things in life that we're all reaching for, and those things that are sort of out of our grasp, but yet there's some spark inside us that compels us to want to reach for them and to want to bring ourselves to greater heights, whether it's on an instrument or whether it's whatever it is. As human beings, we just have this need to reach new heights, and often they're totally out of our grasp, but that doesn't make it any less reasonable to reach for it.
I think he figured out that as difficult as that situation could be, it's like, it's just life, and it's just an opportunity, and it's just being in a band, and maybe I can find a better way to do this.
Seemed like I had changed and grown enough as a person to where it felt like it would be a beautiful thing to have another chance to do it right.
It must be great for the three of you to have John back in the band, because John seems to be that catalyst, that guy who makes you guys elevate your game. Is that a fair assumption to make? Because every time John's in the band, the band just seems like it goes to a certain level. John,
That's a fair assumption.